the full forecast. Jesse Kirsch will have a live report from Buffalo. But first, Blayne Alexander is in Atlanta, where travelers are scrambling to get home. Blayne, good morning to you. What's the latest there?
Well, Kristen, good morning to you. You know, it's certainly safe to say that most of us enter the holiday travel season expecting a little bit of turbulence. But for Southwest passengers, these disruptions over the past few days have been simply unprecedented. It's something that even the CEO has acknowledged. Now the airline says that it's going to be operating at 1/3 of its overall flight schedule over the next few days to try and get back on track.
Blayne, your heart just goes out to all of those travelers. But look, other airlines don't appear to be experiencing the same level of cancellations, and yet Southwest is saying their big factor here was the weather. So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah. And Kristen, you can see this Southwest line here at the ticket counter behind me. But yes, the airline is saying that these were circumstances beyond their control. They were fully staffed, did everything that they could do on their part, but they simply can't control the weather. However, what you just heard from the DOT is really crucial. They're going to be looking into whether this was a controlled or uncontrolled situation. Now, industry insiders say that that is crucial because, remember, Southwest is one of the airlines that promised to reimburse stranded travelers for hotels, for meals, for taxis, things like that, if the situation is in their control. So really what the DOT finds here could certainly be key in determining how all of this plays out for a number of passengers. Kristen.
Well, we know you will continue to track that DOT inquiry. Blayne, thank you so much. With the very latest, a lot of headaches ongoing there. Blayne, good morning to you.
And Kristen, it doesn't seem that they will be stopping anytime soon. You know, I think a lot of us are used to some degree of travel delays or slowdowns when we're traveling over the holidays. But for thousands of Southwest airline passengers over the past couple of days, there has never been a disruption like this. The airline canceled more than 70% of its flights on Monday, and they've said that going forward for the next few days or so, they're only going to be operating at 1/3 of their total flight schedule as they try and get back on track. Now, the airline is apologizing to its customers and calling this unacceptable, but they're pointing to the weather, saying that they were fully staffed, they did everything that they could do, but the weather is simply beyond their control. However, this morning the DOT says that it's concerned about this unprecedented number of flight interruptions and says that they're going to be looking into whether these were controllable or uncontrollable cancellations. Now, that's important, of course, because Southwest had already agreed to reimburse travelers for things like hotel and taxis if there are cancellations within their control. Now, meanwhile, guys, this morning already, if people who had their flights impacted by this, Southwest is already offering a full refund or a flight credit for that flight that was canceled. Guys.
Good news for those travelers. All right, Blayne Alexander, thank you so much.
Blayne Alexander joins us live tonight from Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport there in Atlanta. And Blayne, the big question tonight, how long will passengers be stranded?
Well, Tom, the airline says that it will likely take days to get back on track. Southwest has already slashed some 2,500 flights for tomorrow, another 1,200 for Thursday. In fact, the airline says that it's only going to be operating for about 1/3 of its normal schedule in the coming days. Tom?
All right.
100 cancellations just for Southwest. That compares to about 300 or so from other airlines, guys.
And Blayne, it's interesting because the truth is it's not just Southwest Airlines we're talking about with problems. And it's also not just airports here in the Northeast. You're in Atlanta, a city near and dear to my heart. My own parents were trying to get up here this week. What is FlightAware saying the other areas of concern are?
Well, I think that's important to point out. I think anytime any of us travel during the holidays, especially during this crucial time, we're expecting some sort of delays, some sort of issues, and that's what we're seeing here. Here in Atlanta, for instance, about 300 or so delays, more than 100 cancellations to get things back right.
And Blayne, you already detailed some of the challenges we're already facing today. A transportation analytics company predicted that today could actually be the worst day for traffic, especially near those big airport hubs with travelers now mixing alongside those commuters. What's the advice that they're giving?
Blayne Alexander joins us live tonight from Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport there in Atlanta. And Blayne, the big question tonight, how long will passengers be stranded?
Well, Tom, the airline says that it will likely take days to get back on track. Southwest has already slashed some 2,500 flights for tomorrow, another 1,200 for Thursday. In fact, the airline says that it's only going to be operating for about 1/3 of its normal schedule in the coming days. Tom?
All right.